Welcome back to another episode of my vlog. We're going to cover Assassinate the Mild-Mannered Reporter. This new chapter uh, is fairly short, but there's quite a few things going on here, so let's dig into it a little bit. We've got the main plot with the assassination attempt. It's been botched in chapter 2, so chapter 3 picks up with the agent having the injection in himself, but he's being whisked away by Mega Guy. He's being flown somewhere, doesn't know where, and it is mentioned by Mega Guy that, hey, hang on, I had to suck out a liter of blood in addition to whatever that injection was. So, yeah, down a liter plus the injection. How far did it really spread? Did Mega Guy actually get it all? Um, so there's some question to whether or not Knight's going to live. So yeah, the main plot's going along fine here. The first subplot, which was briefly introduced and not really well defined previously, is Director Barnes's uh, uh, why he wants this assassination attempt at all. And yeah, that's being questioned by Knight in this chapter. So we get a little bit more of a definition here, but he's questioning it, so it's kind of leading to, the reader should be questioning it at this point. Um, so yeah, that's being advanced. There's a new subplot being introduced in this chapter, and that's dealing with the hospital that uh, Knight is being taken to. He wakes up in the hospital, and he's asking, he's out of it, he's like, where am I at? And um, Special Agent Sharp is there, and he's able to fill him in. Hey, you were taken to G Dub, and Knight's like, well, that's not the closest one. But so yeah, that little question is like, why did Mega Guy take Knight to this hospital versus another one? And this yeah, very minor subplot if anything, but it's another little subplot that it's like, hey, put a little another layer of in the lasagna and of the plots, and we'll get somewhere eventually. By the way, Sharp, I didn't even in my original concept of this chapter, I didn't even have him in this chapter. It was going to be a conversation on the phone with um, Director Barnes and Special Agent Knight. And I was like, well, Knight's pretty out of it. Is he going to be able to make the call? And it's like, do I really want Director Barnes directly in this scene? And it's like, it kind of works if Sharp is there and he's just kind of um, we hear Sharp's side of the conversation, and we don't necessarily hear Barnes. And yeah, I thought it worked well because it became more realistic. Barnes is too busy at the director position anyway. Why would he be, coming down here? Plus, it kind of puts Sharp and Knight closer together in this world, and it kind of makes for another layer in itself. Why are these coworkers so chummy? And something that else that happens is the jokester in this chapter uh, kind of gets passed around a little bit. You get some jokes from uh, Sharp, and he's been the jokester in the past, but it's not as funny. And so I ended up going with Knight and being like, here, you do some jokes. And so those ended up being a lot funnier. Um, so those, and still a lot of this humor is going to be tongue in cheek, situational. Um, but yeah, here in this chapter, it's like, hey, we've got more jokes from other people than just Sharp. So that's another dynamic to watch out for going forward. Is just how funny Knight is in all of this, and his growing frustrations as I see it right now. Um, but yeah, it's kind of nice having, the balls are bouncing back and forth. So we'll see how that turns out. So yeah, still keep following me. Like I said, this was going to be fairly short, just because this was a shorter chapter. Um, and it might end up being that chapter four. It's also going to be in the hospital and stuff. And it's like, do I really want it to be a separate chapter? I don't know. I'll have to write it. Maybe I'll have to combine chapter four into chapter three. In which case, I'll have to do like a chapter 3B update with the vlog and not chapter 4. But let's not count our chickens before they hatch. We'll see when we cross that bridge. But stay tuned, and hopefully you'll be enjoying more content soon.